What up? What's up, bro?
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Where you at?
Bro, I'm in the back of my apartment.
Oh, damn, it's nice back there.
Bro, it's nice, dude. You gotta come over sometime.
Definitely.
Bro, I want to let you know some shit right now. You are live streaming on my YouTube channel right now.
Oh, easy.
Hey, but for real, this is a let's see. So this is day four. So 4 days ago, I launched a live, basically a live streaming show for my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Every morning, I do talks, like 10-minute talks, where I talk to people, or basically I give like a lesson or story of mine, or like I talk to someone and get a story from them.
Yeah.
So today I'm like, let me call my boy Andre real quick and see what he's up to.
Yeah.
You got a story for us today? And literally, it could be about anything. It could be about anything.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
All right.
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a story, but
Perfect.
it's something that I just want to reinforce because it's something that I have to continue talking to myself about every day.
Definitely.
But I just want to talk about controlling your thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Being mindful of what it is that you're thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
And just being aware, because I feel like a lot of the times, specifically with me myself, that I'll start catastrophizing and thinking of like the worst situation or all the negative things that's happening, like, oh, I don't necessarily have this, or this is not perfect, or this is not how I want it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it takes me away from appreciating what I have right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for instance, last year with track and field, it wasn't the best year for track. And so as I sat back and reflected this summer on, what worked, what didn't work last year, my mind was never in it mentally. And I was always I was always forcing it, and it wasn't natural. So this year, I'm trying to be a lot more attentive to what it is that I think, what it is that I'm telling myself at practice, what it is that I'm surrounding myself with, and like what other people are saying and feeding into me, just so that it's not necessarily poisoning me, but it's uplifting me, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. It was crazy because yesterday, the type of conversation, or was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago, the conversation on the show was like, basically, it was exactly this. Like, it was basically, I was talking about like some different voices that can arise within you that can stop you from fighting like the ultimate goal. And it's crazy because we already fight so hard to get to where we want to go, but it's already hard enough that we have to fight the biggest fight of all, which is the fight versus ourselves.
Exactly.
All the stuff we make up inside,
Yeah.
So it's funny you said that, man. It's crazy.
I feel like it's something that like a lot of people go through, but not a lot of people, will voice or talk about. Or
Exactly. That's so true. Yeah. There was a guy actually that I'm trying to invite onto the show, and he studies psychology here at UCLA. I think he's a fourth year, and he does lots of research, and I can't wait to get him on the show because he's so intelligent. But I was talking to him about this the other day, and he brought up an interesting point. He said like we're hardwired. Basically his opinion. He says we're hardwired to actually view the negative versus view and focus on the positive, because our instinct and survival in the past is always adjusting to what's wrong, not what's right. As far as survival.
Wow.
But
I never even thought about it like that far back.
Exactly, right? But it's crazy because if you look at keeping that survival aspect and paralleling it with another space of just like of thinking of what's good. Like, I feel like changing our culture right now and like the generation and how we think, because they don't teach you. I was having another conversation with one of my mentors the other day, and saying that they don't teach you at any age, at any educational level, to roll with the punches, to think as what is going good versus what is going bad. It's always like, I'm sure you heard on the podcast, it's like, if I'm a businessman, you ask me how my business going, and I say fine, it's always it's fine. But if you ask me how my business going and I say it's going terrible, I got a million reasons why.
Exactly.
You know, which is crazy. It's like, what?
And I get more interested in the conversation once you say that too.
Exactly, which is crazy. Yeah, it's so crazy. So back to your thing, back to your journey, kind of your self-observation.
Well, hold on. Let me touch on that point real quick. So do you think that if people were to say, because I think also a lot of people don't necessarily want to come off as, you know, bragging, boasting, overconfident. Like if you were to ask me, like how, let's say I had a business, how's my business? My business is great. You know, I feel like, well, I feel like it would only affect somebody who's not confident in what it is that they were doing.
Right. I mean, I feel like when you come at it with an angle of, with some sort of positive love, like, you're not going to come off cocky. Like, I feel like the selfishness and ignorance is what gives off the feeling that you're talking about. But if you ask someone, it's like, how's your business going? And I'm like, man, it's booming. Like, it's happening. Things are going great right now. Like, I got so many different things lined up. And things that are lined up right now are going great. And I can't wait to get to those next things. Like, you know, nobody's going to say you're genuine. Nobody's going to say you're fucking being cocky, you know?
Yeah, it has to be genuine.
He's just doing his thing, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I want to bring up another interesting point that you said that caught my attention. You said that that this season, in your track and field season, you say you're gonna try to be more in the now, and you're gonna try to be more grateful. How much of your process, how much of your journey, how much of your mental preparation has to do with this quote I'm about to say? Okay. This quote's from Albert Einstein. He says, "When you examine the lives of the most influential people who have ever walked among us, you discover one thread that winds through them all. They have been aligned first with their spiritual nature and only then with their physical selves."
I would say that quote is exactly what it is that I'm trying to do, if that makes sense. I think it's funny because, like, I tell people, like, I'm in a much better space this year than I was last year. And it's like, there's no physical way for me to explain it besides, like, more mentally and spiritually, I'm more connected, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Opposed to last year. And so I completely agree because, for instance, the other day I was at practice and my friend called me before practice and there was nothing but bad news. And, like, just seeing that negative toll, and typically I put my phone on airplane mode when I'm at practice. And so I forgot to do that and it rang, and so I answered it. And it was just like all this drama that was happening in that person's life. And, like, seeing how it just drained me for practice is like, it reinforced by, like, you put your phone on airplane mode, but, like, and it's like, that's energy right there. That's nothing but spirit. That's nothing but, like, and so that's why it's important what you put into your body, what you put into your mind, what's feeding you, so to speak.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think, like, for me, even, like, in my best games, my best performances, like, it's not even about what I do to my body like before. Like, obviously I'm gonna take care of my body, like, you know, we're athletes, we take care of our bodies, but it's more of like a mental state, you know. Exactly. Like, we could do anything, you know. And it's crazy because, like, you look at, like, Buddhists, you know, in the most profound Buddhists, the most devoted Buddhists, they focus on meditation and now. Or you look at other different types of religions, and the people that meditate or pray, it's always about the now. It's about being in the now. So it's crazy that you say, you know, I want to focus more on being on the now, because being on the now, I think, can ground you in being grateful, you know.
100%.
And getting that energy right, you know.
Yeah, and I think when you're in the now, you don't have time to worry about the future or overanalyze the past. It's
exactly.
Like nothing matters. It's right here, right now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hey, man, I'm wrapping up. I got 30 seconds left. What do you got for us? Anything?
Stay positive.
All
Stay
right.
positive in thinking.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it for the day. Quantum Breakthrough Day 4.
All right, my man.
Peace.